Hi friends, welcome back to Black Coffee and Grits. I'm Lisa. This is our Maynia recap video. I got a little wild in May. I participated in the Maynia and I had so much fun. So join me to see all the things that I stitched on cross-stitch wise. I also did a little bit of knitting and sewing, so I'll show that toward the end. And I'm going to start with showing you my calendar. All the days that I stitched. I think I pretty much stitched every day in the month of May on something. I did take an unplanned trip, and that sort of threw a wrench in things, but as far as like what my plans were, because Will and I took off and went to the great state of Colorado, and we had such a good time. But I didn't get much stitching done while I was road tripping because we drove up. We went all the way up to Estes Park, Colorado, stayed a couple of days in Rocky Mountain National Park, got to see all kinds of beautiful wildlife. Will was thrilled. It was his first time to be there, and it's so beautiful. And we got the tail end of spring. Spring in Colorado is very different from springtime in Texas. It was still snowing. We went on a hike one day and we got snowed on, and there was snow on the ground up in the mountains. It was amazing and beautiful, and yes, I totally wrecked myself for the Texas summer because we've had a pretty mild spring, but I can tell that summer is coming on. The temperatures are increasing. Like almost the whole time we were gone, it rained, but now it's getting hotter. We have some, I think 95. We reached 95 yesterday. Ugh, that was rough. But don't worry, the air conditioner's on, and that means I'm gonna, I think it's the opposite in Texas of everywhere else. So instead of going out and enjoying the sunshine, we're gonna stay in and avoid the sunshine. So we're gonna get a lot of stitching done. So I ended up for Maynia implementing Pam from Just Keep Stitching's temperature stitching, and I loved it and I want to keep going with it. I had so much fun. So what I did was I took her pick 10 projects. She says number them 0 through 9, and then the temperature from the day before, so like I told you yesterday, got up to 95. So today we'll be stitching on a Worthy Patriot. So I numbered them all 0 through 9, and I actually got some finishes. So do you want to hear? Let me give you the list. Let me tell you what made the list, and then we'll go through all the projects. So 0 was Quaker Farmhouse. You guys know I was jonesing to start that. Number 1 was Peacock, a Peacock, a Unicorn, and a Badger, which I was also jonesing to start that for quite a while. I've had it kitted up. Number 2 was Stars Hollow, which is a series of charts by the Black Needle Society, and I'll show you that, and it's amazing, and it's so cute, and that has been on my list too. I kitted it up probably, I guess I showed it last time that I had all those flosses for it. So number 3 was the June Square Dance from Heart and Hand. Number 4 was Hawk Run Hollow from Carriage House Samplings. I've been wanting to get some time in on that, as you know. Number 5 is A Worthy Patriot from Plum Street. Number 6, the Sandlot, is a kit from Forbidden Fiber Co., and I got some time in on that. Number 7 was I Stitch by Teresa Kogut, which was a freebie chart. I got that finished. Number 8 was Love Never Fails by Barbara Anna. That is my anniversary stitch. And then number 9 is One Nation by Bygone Stitches. And that is something I've been wanting to stitch. I have had it kitted up for a year, and it's very patriotic. So, but I didn't get it started yet. So because the last couple of weeks, well, the last week was not the last full week, but one of the weeks was traveling. I only worked on Pandemic, and I didn't put Pandemic on the list because Pandemic is my one strand a day project, and I did I did stick with that, and I was able to at least put in 1 strand a day while I was traveling. I want to tell y'all all the things. I have like a million things jumping around in my brain, but let me show you my finishes. I am proud of those. So we can start with the June Square Dance from Heart and Hand, which I have been finishing this series on this cute little trivet, which I picked up at an estate sale a long time ago. And it had a tile in it, and I just broke the tile out. So I put in a piece of black and white check fabric. This is one of the Stitching with the Housewives fabrics. And then I've just been finishing all of these on washers and magnets so that they can easily be swapped out. So the June piece was these adorable popsicles, and I pulled my own colors on this. Also used a scrap of Ada fabric. I couldn't tell you what that was. I might have written it down, but I mean, when I have scraps, I don't usually label them. So anyway, it's just a neutral. And then I sewed on those cute little buttons that go on it. And I do know I used black coffee and grits. And then, like I said, I just pulled colors that were similar to what was called for as far as what was pictured, but just what I had in stash. And I did write down those colors. So I will post this up on Instagram. And if you have questions about colors, please just make a note in the comments and I will be sure to share those with you. Okay, so that got finished. And then remember I was stitching on this freebie stitch from Teresa Kogut called I Stitch. And I'd shown you guys this cute little oval frame. So I was able to finish the stitching on this and get her all FFO'd. And I think it turned out super cute. I did do a full, not a full color conversion, but quite a few of my own colors on this one as well. I changed the color of the shirt and the accent color in the skirt. And I did use some overdyed flosses instead of what was called for the DMCs. I did note all of these up on Instagram, so they are already there. I think she turned out so cute. Love her so much. And these are already all hanging up on the wall. I've been enjoying them. In fact, I'm going to put them back up here because they're in my background. I can see them while I'm filming. So one more FFO. This was something that I had stitched a while back. It is Now I Know My ABCs by Blackbird. It's also a freebie chart. And this one I stitched in some Gloriana silks that were highly variegated. And so basically the color changes just wherever the floss landed. And then I just put a little strip of fabric at the bottom of this. I found this little galvanized, I guess you call it, 10 piece at the dollar store a long time ago, and I picked it up. And I did go ahead and finish it on magnets, mainly just because I thought that would be easier to attach it to this metal, but I don't really plan on switching it out. I think it turned out really cute. And I stitched this on a piece of leftover fabric too. It's a linen. It's a 32 count linen. It's like I know what it is. I think it's vintage smoky white, maybe. Pretty sure. Don't hold me to that. That's been a while. I do think that I did put this up on Instagram when I finished it, so I probably did include that information back when I stitched it. Okay, so what else did I told you I got wild and crazy. So do you want to see all the whips now? So now I have 10 whips to show you. Is that true? No, because 2 of those were finishes. So I have 8 whips to show you. That's still a lot. I'm going to show you Pandemic first. This is my 1 stitch a day, 1 strand a day project that I've been working on. And like I said, I hauled this around the world when we went traveling. Oh, on my trip, because I was so close, I ended up making a little detour to Colorado cross stitcher on the way back home. So I have some haul from there to show you too. And I got to meet the lovely Sherry from Colorado cross stitcher. That was really fun. Okay, so long dog samplers pandemic. As you know, I've been stitching on this for a while, 1 strand a day since January, but I did start it previously, so there are some stitches in it from before this year, but this is my progress. I'm stitching it on a piece of Mystery 20 count Ada with just 1 strand of floss over 1, and I'm using DMC number, is this 29? I should know this by now. Yes, 29. It's like a pretty eggplant purple. Let me get you in close. So last month I had gotten a page finish. That felt amazing. And then I'm getting pretty close to a page finish again. I am working my way down on that square. Rectangle? It's a rectangle. Okay. It always feels good to start my day and get just 1 strand done on this, and then I can put it away and wipe my hands of it. I do enjoy this stitch. It's just a little bit tedious. Okay, I was gonna go in order, but I think I've changed my mind about that because I have these just already all stacked up. So let me show you the Sandlot. This is the Forbidden Fiber Co. This was a kit. I actually got this on my birthday a couple years ago, and I started it, but I have just been working on it kind of during baseball season. So this is the chart, and I did change my fabric. I'm stitching it on, ooh, I need a board. I'm stitching it on Cottage Stone, excuse me. Cottage Stone, which is a gray linen from Color and Cotton. It's 32 count. And then I'm using the kit. So the kit included all of the Forbidden Fiber Co. overdyed flosses. And let me show you those. If you've never gotten their kits, they really do a cute job. They send a bag that's themed, and usually I think a zipper pull, a needle minder. There's a really cute little Hercules needle minder that came with this. I'm actually not using it because I'm using my big baseball one, but this is the Hercules needle minder that came with it. And these are the flosses. So they're very primary colors: red, bright yellow, blue, green, and I think it's turning out super cute. So these are all like sayings from the movie, so You're Killing Me Smalls. And I am working right now on the glasses from Wendy Peppercorn with the music notes and the little song around it. So I got this part finished last year, so this is my progress for this year. Oh, and here's my cute little needle minder. This is from Madford Minders. It's a wooden baseball heart. So this is turning out super cute. I'm enjoying stitching on it, and I actually pulled it out again this morning because I was trying to finish those glasses, but then I was like, girl, you need to film this Flosstube. So Blanco has been sick. My little white chihuahua, the tiniest of the tiny ones, we call him, the smallest of the small ones. He, I don't know what is wrong with him, but I took him to the vet on Friday. He just wasn't feeling good. He wasn't eating, kind of moping around. So I'm taking him back to the vet this afternoon for a follow-up, but he did kind of turn a corner yesterday, so I'm feeling better. He finally started eating and he wasn't getting sick anymore. So I'm excited to report that. Hopefully he'll get a good report from the vet. Those little chihuahuas are finicky little dudes. Okay. Next up, I was so excited to start this. A peacock, a unicorn, and a badger from the Scarlett letter. The Scarlett letter. I wanted to make sure I was saying that right. And this is such a fun piece. I know you've probably seen a lot of people stitching this. It is stitched with the background. As far as the pattern is called, like the whole background is stitched. It's almost like a tapestry. But I ordered a piece of green fabric. Actually, I picked this up at Shepherd's Needle in Arkansas on my way home from a retreat. I think from stitching in the Smokies. It is hand dyed by Stephanie, 32 count glassed, Glast. It is like, to me, like the perfect color. Now I know a lot of people are stitching this on the Roxy Floss Co. hand dyed fabric, and it's beautiful too. I think both have kind of an olivey dark green vibe, and I think they're perfect. But I picked this up. I think I've only stitched on this maybe a couple of days, but look how much I got done already. And guess who has already claimed this? You can probably guess. Mr. Will has already said, Mom, I want that in the playroom. Of course you do, son. It's going to be amazing. And he loves animals, as you know. So this one I am stitching with the DMCs, all the called for DMCs, 2/2. This is my cute little project bag that I made for it. It's got little owls on it and moths and snails. I was like, something else cute. Yeah, I have this kitted up with all the called for DMC flosses. There are a lot of them. And some of them you need 2 skeins, especially stitching it on 32 count. I think, I'm actually not sure what the called for, it may be 40 count, but I wanted to stitch it on 32 count. It's my jam. It's my favorite. So that's my progress on a peacock, a unicorn, and a badger. And, oh, I was probably going to forget to show this. Let me show it real quick. I guess last year I started this for my 15-year anniversary. This is Love Never Fails by Barbara Anna Designs. And Lori Holt stitched it for her anniversary sampler. I really loved it because this was the verse that was read at our wedding. And obviously it's just super cute little sampler. I'm stitching it with the called for flosses. It is a mix of DMCs, maybe all DMCs. I think it is all DMCs. And then I subs out the black for black coffee. That's why there's one little tag here. I need to get some more black coffee on this ring. I used it all up. Okay, so beautiful colors. I love the red and the teals in this, and then the gold is so pretty too. So I'm stitching this on a piece of Seraphim Old Stationery. I'm pretty sure. It could be Biscuit. I got the tags mixed up on these. So that's making me a little crazy. But this is the progress. I actually, I stitched a little bit more on her dress down here. And I started filling in the numbers. So we were married in 2010. So I'm gonna, I'm charted those and I'm stitching those in, and I got one little motif filled in. So that's coming along and it's super cute. Okay, this is Biscuit, I think. You know what I should compare it to? I should compare it to a Worthy Patriot because a Worthy Patriot I know is on Old Stationery. Of course, it's at the bottom of the stack. But we'll pull it out. Okay, yeah, it is different. So that's definitely Biscuit. I'm definitely stitching on a Biscuit, and this is on Old Stationery. I'll go ahead and show this now. Okay. A Worthy Patriot from Plum Street Samplers. This was the new market release. It's amazing, and I'm really enjoying stitching on this. It's going to stay on my temperature stitch. Stitching it with all the called for flosses. It's a mix. I did substitute black coffee for the black. The white was already grits, or one of the whites was grits, so I'm using grits. I know it has a mix of some DMCs, some Week Styleworks, some classic Colorworks flosses. There's a lot of overdyes, but then there's a lot of DMCs as well. And I've got some really fun floss drops that are patriotic that I'm using. And like I said, I'm stitching it on a piece of Seraphim Old Stationery in 32 count. It's linen. And I got the rest of this part of the letters in. I filled in the berries and the leaves on the vine. And I got this flagon and these two elements. Pretty sure, since I showed it to you last. So it's coming along and I love it so, so much. So yes, it is definitely going to stay on the temperature stitch as well. Okay, additionally, oops, there's some blocks on the floor. Additionally, I'm stitching the Farms of Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage Samplings, and I am stitching it in this orientation. It's also, you could also stitch it like this, but I'm stitching mine this way. I'm stitching mine on a piece of 32 count Latte by Fiber on a Whim. This is one of my favorite fabrics. I think it is just so, so pretty. This is so big. It's like stitching on a bed sheet, but that's okay. It is stitched with the called for DMC flosses. I did not substitute black coffee for this. I did go ahead and use the DMC. The contrast is very high, but I really like it, especially on that night sky. So I already had 3 blocks completely finished, and I focused on this block, the Thursday Livestock Auction block. And is that Thursday or Tuesday? I'm showing you the back of this. Somebody help! I was like, why is this all backwards? But it wasn't backwards in the way that it usually is. I was able to read it from the back side. Okay, sorry, I'm a nut. Forgive me. Here we go. It is Tuesday, not Thursday, also. As many times as I've stared at this. Okay, so I got in some more of the animals. The cows, I finished the fence and the barn over here on this side and the trees. Yeah, coming right along. I think last time I had shown it to you, I had done those cows, actually, and the sheep. This is the most adorable needle minder from Mad Reminders. It is a Dr. Pepper bottle. So, coming right along, it's going to stay on the temperature stitching. I want to eventually, don't we all want to get a finish on these things? Of course. But without just wearing myself out on it. Okay. Next up was a birthday start and stitch with my friend Michelle, making it with Michelle. Michelle and I picked this up from Market as well, and we did do a color conversion on it. This is Quaker Farmhouse it's a collaboration between Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery and Blueberry Ridge Designs. And isn't it so cute? It's adorable. I'm gonna zoom in and let you maybe screenshot that, but I will list these colors if you're interested. The main 3 that we changed, actually I pretty much changed all mine because I used some of the things from stash that I had, but the pinks we changed, the reds, excuse me, the reds we changed to like a purpley pink. Mulled Berries by Classic Colorworks, Boysenberry Jam, and Lavender Louise are those 3 beautiful kind of purpley colors. And then, like I said, I pulled from stash, so I used some Color and Cottons, some Wheat Star Works for the neutrals. But these are those pretty purples. Aren't they fun? Okay, you're probably like, okay, hush, show us your progress. And I decided to stitch mine on a piece of 32 count raw linen that I had in stash. And I think the colors are turning out really fun. Okay, I swear I ironed this yesterday. Didn't do a very good job at it. Let me see. So working on those Quaker motifs in the border. And believe it or not, I think this might have just been 1 day's worth of progress. Update. Will took a very intense test to apply to get into a high school, a private school. And so the day that he was taking the test, we had to do it at home, and I was just a ball of nerves. So I worked on this while I was distracting myself. But this is mine and Michelle's little birthday stitch, and you're welcome to sal along with us if you want to. I don't think I've posted a picture of that yet up on Instagram, but I need to. Okay, next, I have to show this coffee bag. It's so stinking cute. I mean, a Gilmore Girls project absolutely must be in a coffee bag. Am I right? Okay, so as I mentioned, this is a series, and it's full coverage. So this is one of 4 charts. This is Spring in Stars Hollow, and it happens to be the one that they said to start with. So I started there, and I have to show you my cute little floss drops. I had to have a cowboy boot in honor of Lorelei, and some coffee floss drops. Okay, there are a bajillion flosses for this, a bajillion, and I'm using all the called for. It is a mix of some Classic Colorworks, some Wheat Star Works, and then a whole gob of DMCs. I think I have every skein of DMC they offer. I actually separated out the winter and the fall and the spring and the summer flosses. But, oh, there's some floss on here. We're just going to keep that there so I don't lose it. This is the progress that I made. I got started, and yes, I know I have very small margins on this, but because it's full coverage, I'm probably not going to show much of the fabric and just let the stitching be what I show and frame out. So it shouldn't matter too much. I'll FFO it myself, so no one will be mad at me. So this is part of the Dragonfly for the Dragonfly Inn, and some books, because we know Rory is a bookworm, and there's a picnic basket that I got started on because we know they always have that fun little picnic auction. It's such a cute show. If you haven't ever seen it, you need to see it. I've seen it umpteen times. I love it so much. Okay, did I show you all of my whips? I think I did. I didn't tell you what I was stitching this on. This is a piece of Color and Cotton, no, Fiber on a Whim, Cream and Sugar Ada is what it is. And I had I had bought like a yard of this, and so I had a scrap that was the perfect size pretty much. And while I was stitching this, I was rolling it up. Look how I made all those wrinkles in it. And then I was lazy and I only ironed this one corner that I was going to show you. And then I told off on myself. Okay, that's what I do, I guess. Are those all the whips? I think those are all the whips. Let's talk about plans real quick, and then plans for cross stitch, and then I'll show haul, and then I'll show knitting and sewing projects, and then I'll talk about books at the very end. Okay, so I'm going to continue doing the temperature stitching. I'm having a lot of fun with that. What I do in the morning is I do my one strain on Pandemic, and then when I'm finished with that, when I have time in the afternoon or whatever, I will pick up my temperature stitch. So basically I'm keeping everything that I had for the month of May, but I updated the July square dance. That will go in where I finished the June square dance. And then since I finished I stitched, I put Summer Refreshes, which was a previous whip from Summer House Stitchworks that I started last year. So I want to get that finished. So also I kept One Nation on here. I'm on the fence about that. I want to start it, but I also want to do some other patriotic stitching. So depending on my mood when that one actually gets called, I might stitch some other patriotic smalls before I start it. I don't know. It's staying on the list though, because I do want to stitch it. And I think it's a perfect, like, you know, 2026, 250 birthday, 250th birthday celebration situation. Okay, what did I say? Okay, I talked about plans. That's done. Let me show you, I finished my socks. So I came home. Oh my gosh, I have so much haul because I have birthday gifts, and we did a sew day, and I went to Colorado cross stitcher. So un momento. I'm not great with all this. I'm not great at remembering all the knitting details because I'm still new to knitting. I just threw my knitting needles on the floor. Let me tell you first what the pattern is. This is a freebie pattern that I got off of Ravelry. And my printer is kind of being junky. I ordered cheap toner and that was a mistake. It's leaking now. So Rose City Rollers by Mira Catherine Reiner. Freebie little sock pattern. Super cute. This is the yarn I used, which I was so graciously gifted by my friend Stephanie. This is Alegria. I still don't know if I'm saying this right. It is a Uruguay yarn. And I can't read this. I can't read what this says. But it's super fun. Manos? Alegria? Domby? Okay, yeah. Anyways, super pretty. And I think when I saw you last, I had one of these two socks finished. It's probably this one. It feels like I've tried this one on a few more times. And then I got this one completely knitted up. So it's a fun little roll top, so you don't have to do any of that. I can't even think of what that's called. Ribbing. And then this time on these, I did there's two different toes you can do on this pattern. They have a square toe and a round toe, and I did the round toe. And I do like the way it turned out. I I think it's comfortable and it's a little bit less boxy than the square toe. So isn't this fun? Super fun yarn. I didn't tell you what I can't read this. It's a merino superwash in polymide. I have some more of it, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. But cute little pair of socks, all FFO, are finished, fully finished. I guess you don't FFO socks. They come out FFO. I was gonna tell you that I knitted them on these Likey needles in a size 1, US 1. I use a 9-inch and a 12-inch. And I use the 9-inch for all the like round knitting in the round until I get to the point where I'm doing the heel flap and heel turn and the gusset, and then I use the 12, and then at the end, of course, you split them and you're knitting on two needles. Okay, I made a gigantic mess. Let me show you. I was gonna show haul before I showed that. I failed. I'm just gonna go ahead and show these other two. What else did I sew on while I was at the sew day? I did a binding. Remember this Hey Boo quilts I made? I made this Hey Boo quilt last year and I had it quilted. I've got a black and white stripe on the back, which is so cute. It's got little pumpkins in the quilting part. I used a freebie pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop that I kind of modified. And now I think it was called like layer cake something. Anyway, I just kind of modified it. I got the binding all done. This is probably one of the best bindings I've done this far. I think maybe you just get better with more practice, but I also got a different foot for my Juki. It's a less compensating foot and it's really helping me to keep that like tiny margin next to the binding. Anyway, this is all done for Halloween in advance and it's so cute and I love all the pink and the purple, the bright orange and that fun limey green in this. So that got done, and then I started putting a binding on, you probably see it over in the corner, my Slow Stroll quilt. But I have been very, I'm gonna say I've been frugal about thread, and I've only bought like off-white thread so far, and then I've learned that obviously having a darker thread that matches is less noticeable if you make boo-boos. So I need to get some orange thread. So this is the Slow Stroll quilt. I put that on the back. It's, like I said, it's already been all quilted. It's super fun. I'm trying to remember what this pattern was called. I think it's called Flirty. And then, yeah, just got to tack down the front. And I am doing the binding with the machine. So I sew it on the machine, iron it down, and then machine sew it to the front as well. I have done the method where you hand sew it. It's just more tedious. So, okay. When I get some thread, I'll finish that. Are y'all ready for haul? There's kind of a lot. I almost want to sit down because I am going to sit down because all this haul is basically on the bottom shelf of my cart here. Oh, did y'all notice I got my shelf in? Dad brought me the drill bits and I was able to get that done here in my craft room. So that allowed me to put some more of my yarn out. Okay, we'll just start with this. This is some yarn haul from Knit Dallas. Some friends at the sew day, we took a little knitting adventure and went over and checked out Knit Dallas. So there's actually stuff in here that is not from Knit Dallas, but this is their beautiful, like, store exclusive color yarn. From Wander Luck Fibers. I've gotten closer. And it is Wander Luck Sport, 100% merino. It's called On Mockingbird. And I'm sure that's where their store is, on Mockingbird Lane. Isn't it pretty? I love it so much. And I had this little skein in my stash, and so I think I'm going to do some socks in this and use this for the toes and the cuffs, which is like the darkest color in the yarn. And this is from Old Rusted Chair called Riding Out the Storm. Pretty gray. Okay, so some things have gotten matched up for future projects. I kind of have like a little knitting shelf here in this little cart. These are so hard to get back in once you've taken them out. Okay, also, it's really hard to find yarn. Let me just show these. I got some more at Likey Needles, the driftwood. These are 1.5s. A 9 and a 12, so that way if I want to cast on 2 pairs of socks, I have a second set of needles. It's really hard to find kind of boyish, I feel like, yarns, but they have this, which I think is going to turn out kind of camouflaged. Remember I made that cute little baby hat and Will saw it and he was like, I don't want one, so that I didn't have any more of that yarn because it was gifted to me, but this is called Into the Woods, also by Wander Luck Fibers, and it is also 100% merino. It's called Wander Luck Worsted, and I think it'll be good for a little hat for Will, and I'm hoping it turns out looking camouflage like the other one. Definitely boyish colors. They had some others too that were really pretty. I was holding myself back a little bit. What else did I buy in there? I saw this little pig charm and had to have it. I pretty much was like, it's my birthday weekend. I'm buying whatever I want. And I did. I also got these little stitch stoppers that are avocados. How stinking cute are those? This is from Fox and Pine Stitches. And they had these in there. They were so cute. Okay, I don't know if you saw it, but Forbidden Fabric Co. was having a big clearance sale. And so, like I said, it's kind of hard to find like boyish yarns. So I saw these two. This is Lily Pad, Gluttony Sock from Forbidden Fabric Co. And this is what is this called? Shady Pines. So browns and greens. So I thought this would be some good socks for Will. Also Gluttony Sock. So they're fingering weight. Really fun. Love those. Okay, so it was my birthday and everybody was so sweet at our little sew day and gifted me things. And my friend Jessica made Michelle and I cupcakes, which was so sweet. Some of the gals bought me a gift card at the Best Little Retreat Center in Texas. And so I have been wanting one of these irons, Oliso. And this is the mini. And I think it'll be perfect because I have a retreat coming up to go to Missouri Star in June. So I think this will be good for the retreat because you can keep it by your, like, in your little stitching zone and it doesn't take up too much room. It's so awesome. I was like thrilled to get this because it's been on my wish list for a while, but I was like, they're expensive, but I didn't, you know, when someone gifted you, when your friends give you a gift card, then you can justify spending it how you want. So I got the iron, and then my friend Jessica gave me some beautiful yarn. This is Dream Smushy. It's like a really, oh, so soft. It's called Heavenly is the color. Just twisting this around. I know this has cashmere in it. Sock yarn in this fun blue. And she also gave me some sock blockers. I was like, what are these called again? They're acrylic sock blockers. So nice. And my friend Caitlin sent me a little package in the mail. Caitlin is a Stitch for Mom on YouTube, and she sent some adorable stuff. This is hysterical. Can you guys read this? It says, hot girls have grandma hobbies. And it's so true, right? Okay, and she also sent these adorable pins that are little cherries. I can't wait to use those. And she sent some patriotic flosses from Color and Cotton. We've got Stargazing and Candy Apple and Old Glory and Natural Cotton. So we're ready to do some patriotic smalls. Thank you, Caitlin. Oh, and this, she sent this really cute patriotic zipper pull. This is from, sorry, I'm having trouble reading this. It's in this plastic. Stitchingly Along. And they have an Etsy. Oh man, I got this twisted. It's on a little, there we go. Isn't that cute? I've been not using this stuff because I wanted to show it to you guys. And now I can put it with projects. Okay. Another friend I met, Gloria, at the Sew Day, was so sweet, and she was making these cute little bags and gifted this to me for my birthday. And it's like a citrus fabric print with this really fun zipper. And then there are pockets in here. Pocket on the outside and like a divided pocket in the inside. She's so talented. She just whips this out and she's like, I didn't even use the pattern. I'm like, you're amazing. So sweet. And then I went shopping at the retreat center because it was my birthday. So let me show you what I had to have. I picked up this zipper because I want to do a Teddy and the Bears bag. This is from Stitch Supply Co. I just love these so much. Obviously, it's black and white. And then that pop of aqua. Those are super fun. Have you seen this line, The Hen House by Gingerbread? I got a layer cake here. And then I got some of cut yardage of this black and white animal fabric. It is so stinking cute. I couldn't even help myself. I wanted to get more of it, honestly. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm thinking about, okay, I also got the panel. Hold on. Oh, please, because you got to see this. It's so stinking cute. I should have prepared and gotten these out of the plastic ahead of time. I'm sorry. These are so cute. I think I'm gonna make pillows out of these. I think, and maybe put the animal print on the back. I gotta think about what I'm doing here. These are little hen houses. Oh, so stinking cute. I can't even. Totally adorable. So I have a layer cake to do something with, and then all of the black and white yardage, and then the panels. Ideas? Thoughts? Okay. I also fell in love with this. This is a Ruby Star Society quilt panel, Mystic Fable. And I got this from the Best Little Retreat Center, and it came with this pattern as well. For how to use this panel. And this is a big panel. I think it's 2.5 yards. 2 yards. It's 2 yards long. Oh my gosh, you're gonna die. It is so stinking cute. Do you love Ruby Star? I love Ruby Star. I'm not sure the best way to show this. But we're just gonna get it out and figure it out. Y'all, it's so cute! And the colors are really fun. So there are apples, shooting stars, fun flowers, and I can't think of what this style reminds me of. It's obviously like a woodblock print. Look at the border, it's cute too. The little house. Can you even? Flowers and birds and bunny rabbits. These little fabrics, the little like side prints remind me of some of the fabric from when I was like a kid. Actually, it's probably from one of the quilts I have that like my great grandmother's made. Who's running out to get this panel? Isn't it so cute? The horse. Okay, what's next? More rabbits. And the rainbows. And another flower block. Isn't it fun? Ah! I love it so much. Now I shouldn't fold it back up and put it in the bag. I should just make something with it, right? One of the girls at the retreat center was making a really cute book quilt with ruby stars, and she was doing like fussy cutting, and it was so cute. I don't know if I took a picture of it, but if I did, I'll pop it in. If I didn't, use your imagination. Okay, so I am going to pop in at the end a slideshow of pictures from the Colorado cross stitcher. That shop is amazing. It is huge. She has so much stuff. She has so many patterns. I was blown away. I mean, I've seen her shop tours before. I've watched her Flosstube, Sherry, the Colorado cross stitcher. But her fabrics are like, she has a ton of fabric and she's very well organized. Everything is by count in these awesome little buckets. She had floss wall, like, ooh, you wouldn't even believe. She had silks, like every brand of overdyes. She had amazing winterberry boxes. The pattern, I could have stayed in there for hours. I couldn't because my kid was sitting in the car, but I could have. Now, also, you probably know if you watch Sherry that she has been recharting Birds of a Feather charts. So this alphabet sampler had been on my radar for a long time when it was out of print. And so now I was able to get it from Sherry as a reprint. So that'll go on the black sampler wall someday. And then I picked up Sally Spencer, also Birds of a Feather, which is a fun sampler. And I love the colors in this. I always love red and like icy blue together. And then I picked this up because I'm still feeling patriotic. This was from Market this year. This is Little Liberty sampler from Siren Stitchworks. And it's going to be so fun. Can you see the words going around this? It's, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. So it's just beautiful. Beautiful words. I also think it would be fun just to stitch the Statue of Liberty. But the border and those words are really fun too. So, okay, I was very good at the Colorado cross stitcher. I just bought those 3 charts and then I brought some stickers back for my friend Michelle. That's the other thing that Sherry has that's amazing is she loves stickers. She used to do a lot of scrapbooking, so she's got like stickers galore. If you love stickers, her shop is one to definitely check out. She does have a great online shop as well, but if you get the chance to go there in person, definitely do. Like I said, it's impeccably organized. You will not be disappointed. The sheer volume of what she had to offer was incredible. So that was all my haul, which was a lot. Next, let's talk about books, and I have to grab my planner because I've slept since I finished some of these books. And of course, I will pop in pictures. So, I wish I had just filmed the whole Flosstube sitting down because I'm so much more comfortable just sitting down. Okay, so I finished reading Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And there has been some discussion about whether The Prisoner of Azkaban or the Goblet of Fire is better. And I gotta say, I think my favorite is The Prisoner of Azkaban. Now, I did just start the next book in the series, which is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. So I'm waiting for Will to catch up so we can watch the movie, The Goblet of Fire. It's been really fun reading this series. I highly recommend it if you haven't already read it. I'm sure you probably have. I feel like I need some Harry Potter cross stitch in my life. Maybe that will happen soon. Okay, then I was listening to this audiobook and I'm like, I can't even remember what this was about. Oh, yes, I do remember it. The Secrets We Kept by, boy, I have some terrible handwriting here because I cannot read this author's name. Laura Prescott. Okay, this was a really good book. I really enjoyed it. So I'm like, why did I not remember it? What jogged my memory is what I was stitching on while I was listening to it, which was A Worthy Patriot. So this is a historical fiction, takes place like during the Cold War, and it's told from like the typist pool perspective. And then, of course, there are some American and Russian spies in there. So it's a good story. It's a really good story, and it has a little bit of a love story component in there. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was amazing. It kept my attention. I didn't want to turn it off. I was listening to it almost straight through. I think I listened to it in 2 days. So for like a 8, 10 to an hour book, I was listening to it a lot. Next, I downloaded a book called Broken Country by Claire Leslie Hall, and this was a Reese Witherspoon book rec, and it was on just some other lists that I saw for like best reads of 2026. And I'm trying to think of how to like tell you what it's about without giving it all away. It has a mystery component to it. Set in England. I feel like I've been on a like England, like, I don't know, accent. The other book she had a Russian accent she was reading. So I have all these like foreign accents in my head right now. but it was really good. It was good. It was sad a little bit, a lot of it. There's a murder, so you gotta solve the mystery, and it really does keep you hanging in there. And it's a love story too. Not PG. It's it's definitely a bit spicy in parts, but it was good. It was really good. It kept me guessing right up until the end. So I would say I give that one 4 stars, and I give The Secrets We Kept 5 stars. And then what else? I just downloaded The 100 Years of Lenny and Margot by Marianne Cronin. And this one also has a little accent. I haven't quite placed if it's British or if it's more Irish accent. But I've just gotten started in this one, and I know it's going to be sad, a heartbreaker, because it's about 2 patients in the hospital who have a terminal illness. And so it's a young girl and an older lady. And so between the 2 of them, there's 100 years between them. And it's going to be good, I think. So I just got started on that. So stay tuned next month to hear how I liked it. We've also continued watching The Big Bang Theory, and there's been some fun things happening on the show, some big things happening on the show. I think we're in season 13. I don't know. Like I said, the boys control the remotes. I also have gotten caught up on Grey's Anatomy. That's a good one. I don't know how my husband and I get off on these medical dramas, but I guess it's my fault. The thrill, the rush of the emergency department, and then the tangled web they weave of all the love stories in Grey's Anatomy. It's kind of comical in a way. Okay, well, that's what I have been up to in the month of May, and I can't believe the month flew by. It completely flew by, but it was good and productive, and I had a lot of fun stitching. I hope you enjoyed the Flosstube, and I hope you will join me back here next time for my June recap. And happy stitching, friends. Bye.